Good evening, weirdos.
Hello.
How are we doing today? Welcome to Let's Talk Live on Sunday. This is our movie, book, TV, weirdo club.
That's right.
You know, it's all fun and games here, but we're about to get into it. But we wanted to say hello. I'm Trinity Grace, your Gen Z host.
And I am your Gen Xer, Danielle Nikki.
Amen. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. And if you guys are watching later on, make sure to hype that video on YouTube. Thank you very much. I believe we're still hyped on 2 episodes for in podcasts. I think so. So you guys are lovely. Thank you so much for doing that. We are literally on every single social platform ever at Our Two Gens. So go ahead and do that. Thank you very much. We are growing on Instagram, which is so exciting. It's fun to see you guys. And you guys are touching us directly, on our personal accounts and everything. So it's super fun. Hello. Thank you for joining us. And you guys could stream the podcast anywhere you have your podcast, literally on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, literally everywhere. So go ahead and do that. Thank you guys for streaming it, liking it, sharing it. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You want to say hello to our people?
Of course, because the question was asked if you have been on a cruise, and if not, would you like to? Which is hilarious because we're talking about a shipwreck.
We felt it was appropriate to ask, if you guys are experienced in this area.
Right? Because we are. We're going to preface this by saying we are cruisers.
Yes.
Okay? I grew up, I'm a Gen Xer. We didn't. I remember there was people falling off of ships for a minute there. It was a bride, she fell off the boat and now we never saw her again. And so there was a lot of things that I was I don't think I want to cruise. But then we went on our first cruise and I'm addicted now.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
Exactly.
But it's not for everyone. We understand that. But this is not a pressuring situation. There's a lot of eyeballs in the comments. Why are y'all doing that? Why are y'all doing that? And then people sharing their stories. People saying Jazzy said she technically been on a cruise. She was miserable the whole time because she missed her mom.
Oh,
see, that's valid. That's valid.
I get that.
I never experienced that. I went on the cruise with my mom and my dad. So
yes, we take them everywhere.
Yeah.
Just came off a cruise. I was afraid I'd catch some type of virus, but I survived physically, not financially.
Oh my goodness. Felt.
And things can be expensive. Man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's actually so valid. A lot of people are just scared because if you look out on a cruise, right, it's just darkness.
Nothing.
You're in the middle of the ocean, right? and you can't see anything.
Right.
You know, technically there's water moving underneath you or whatever, but if you
it
look
can
out,
be black.
gosh, it's kind of terrifying. You don't really prepare yourself for that feeling of seeing just total darkness and knowing that you're alone. You're like, oh my God.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I get it. I completely get it.
Oh, say, hold up, Trinity. I need the beanie. Where
Hey
can
now.
they get it? Where can they get it?
Y'all can shop the merch. I believe the link to shop merch is in the description. So go ahead down if you guys are watching now, later, or whatever. But if you're like listening to this or you just don't have the opportunity to go in the comments or the description, you can head to our2gens.com and the link will be right there. We're selling all a bunch of stuff like weirdos, divorce,
The audacity.
Okay, tumblers, mugs, beanies eventually.
Shirts.
Okay. So go ahead and go see that, y'all. Thank you so much.
Man, so I've always dreamed of going on a cruise, but after watching the doc, I'm not too sure now. And that's great.
Valid.
But also, we do have a list of the things that have changed in the cruising industry after this disaster.
Yes.
So when we went, I remember when I was watching this, I was like, that wouldn't have happened today. That wouldn't happen today because there's things that they do to prevent. So I'm
Exactly.
excited to go through that list as well.
Definitely. We will do that all the way at the end because there's some things that are like spoiler ridden and why they did the reason and stuff like that. So we'll go through that afterwards. But definitely since this happened, since this was the most like modern shipwrecking disaster like in this time, things have changed. They made it safer for us. They made it just precautions, things like you cannot do that because that's irresponsible and unnecessary.
Yes.
Make it safe for the passengers, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But yes, it's definitely safer. We're good.
Right, right.
Did I see someone say something about a life jacket at all times?
The whole time.
Even during dinner? Even during dinner. Ma'am.
Listen, when we first got to our cruise, I don't know if y'all did it in your room, but then, you go through her little intro video and it's like, this is where your muster station is, this is where this, and they're like, this is where your life jacket is. We went immediate to the closet.
Made sure that it was there.
Is it in there? All right, cool.
Okay.
So I know exactly where it is.
Thank you.
So when I need to run back, I know where to find it.
I know where I can get it. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
So if you you said you haven't watched the doc, well, you are in luck. We are literally going to do like an in-depth breakdown of what the doc did. Like we're literally just describing the documentary to you, who was in the doc, like full on step by step. So you're in luck. You won't miss anything.
Right. And also some extra stuff that wasn't in the doc.
Oh yeah, we did additional research afterwards because they didn't, Netflix, man.
You can never, no, the thing is, unless you want a 10-hour documentary, you can't put everything in.
That's valid, but like information. So we always got you guys on that front. We do additional information of what happened afterwards, things that were briefly mentioned and you just want a little bit more elaboration.
Right.
We got y'all.
Exactly.
For sure.
You ready to get into it?
I am. Are y'all?
Let's do it.
Thank you for joining us, loves.
All right, we're going to get into Shipwrecked, Nightmare at Sea.
All right.
So we have a title card, and it says on January 13th, 2012, excuse me, my note-taking, the Costa Concordia hit a rock and shipwrecked with over 4,000 people on board.
Yes.
So that was over black. That sets you up. We see underwater footage of divers and the Costa Concordia, and then a baby stroller on the sea floor. We hear voices saying, but is there water coming in? Like hell there is. I'm on my way down now. That just trips me out. Like, I just immediately felt some type of way.
Like panic.
Because what do you mean water is coming into my ship?
Exactly. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be on the outside.
I don't like that.
Thank you.
So we immediately meet some of our survivors. So there's John and Megan. They hadn't been on a vacation since having their daughter, Lila. Then we meet Rose. She's a dancer. She's been performing on the ship for 4 months.
Really cool.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
And I'm going to take an aside. If I were younger, I would totally do that.
Oh my goodness.
I would be on a cruise ship for a minute.
Because you could just travel the world. You have no responsibilities, no rent. Seems
no
like.
rent.
You're getting paid to travel the world
stack
and
your
do
chips.
Stuff,
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
So then we meet Patricia and Nicholas. They've been dating for 3 years. And Stefania. So when this happened, she was 17 years old. Her mom brought her with her brother and her best friend.
Boyfriend.
What did I say? Mother, boyfriend, best friend.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah.
She brought her boyfriend, the mom's childhood best friend, and her and her mom. So 4 people total.
Exactly. So we see footage from the restaurant when the ship hit. So it boom, and people just kind of start moving all over the place in the restaurant. Glasses, everything's breaking. It's pretty traumatic. And then Stefania said, it felt like the ground under our feet opened.
Terrifying.
And Rose said, people were grabbing onto the walls and grabbing onto each other. Then there's footage of the ship on its side in the water. And someone says, this is straight out of a scene from Titanic.
Not the last time we're going to hear a reference to Titanic this entire time.
Not.
People are like, that is the shipwreck of our history and of our time. So people are just constantly like, let's reference that any moment we can.
And it's Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th.
When I heard that, how poetic is that? Like, are you kidding? Friday the 13th? Choose another day.
I don't like it. I don't like any of this.
Yeah. Red flags everywhere.
All of it.
You know?
Then we see footage of Don Lemon when he was on CNN, and he said, let's be honest. You've thought about it every time you get on a plane or a cruise ship. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, it happened. And then over the title card, you hear the captain's voice saying, God, what have I done?
What have you done?
We about to find out. Just to let you know, he's our villain.
Oh,
okay.
We have multiple villains for sure, but he is like the big bad.
Yes, he is the big
You're
bad.
You're gonna hate him so much after
So
the additional
bad.
information. Oh, I can't
wait to hear all of it. So then we get some more from our survivors. So John and Megan, this will be their longest vacation together and the furthest away from their home because their daughter Lila is 14 years old. And 14 months old, I apologize, y'all, and felt it was a good time to do a big trip. And so when they described their trip, I was like, get out of here.
Sound fun, right?
Paris, Switzerland, Venice, Barcelona, and then they ended up on this cruise ship.
Like, hey now, you know, and they're like new parents and they decided to do this thing with a new child, which shout out to them because a lot of people would be like, I'm staying home. Absolutely not. And that's a lot of traveling with a kid.
With a kid. They said they had one suitcase dedicated just to her toys, baby wipes,
I know
diapers.
I know they did. That's crazy.
Because I don't want to travel down the street with my brand new kid.
You know?
I'm going around the world.
Right.
Absolutely
Shout out to
not. And this is where we meet Patricia and Nicholas. So Patricia always wanted to go to Italy, and Nicholas surprised her with the cruise. As I said, they were dating 3 years, and Nicholas planned to propose to her on this trip.
Romantica.
So beautiful, right? And then we have Stefania, who we've met, and her mother wanted to celebrate her 50th birthday on this cruise. And also, she was in cancer remission, so this was a celebration as well.
Yeah.
So every survivor talked about how wowed they were by the size and opulence of the ship. So when we saw some of the footage, there was like chandelier everywhere, marble, glass, gold. It was a little gaudy.
Yeah, a little. It was Italian.
It was Italian, very gaudy, very over the top. But, you know, when you walk in, it's just this huge ship and this beautiful situation. So everybody was kind of awestruck. And the ship departed on January 13th, 2012, which is Friday the 13th, as our producer said.
Like, what? No way.
And it was described as a beautiful, quiet evening. So there was nothing that would make them think that something was going to happen. So Patricia and Nicholas seemed a little fun when they were talking about The Walking Dead because it was around the time.
With their relationship, actually. Yeah.
That was cute. So The Walking Dead was out at this time, and Nicholas wanted to play a game where it's like, if zombies attacked, what would you do? What weapon would you use based on what's around you? How would you get out? Like, it was a survival situation. And Patricia wasn't feeling it. Like, she talking about when he made me play this and blah, blah, blah. But she said once he made her do it, it made her think about stuff like that. Like, how would she survive being more aware of her surroundings, which I do already.
Like a good thing to maybe pick up on, Patricia.
Exactly. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And if he made it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, zombies are chasing you.
Real, though. He's real for bringing up a scenario like that.
Right?
We do that all the time. I had
We
no
do.
idea other people did that, too.
You know, and whenever we move, we're like, we need a new zombie apocalypse plan.
An escape route for sure.
So this is when we meet Manrico. He is the hotel manager on the ship. He's worked with the Costa Company for 43 years. Yeah.
Bruh.
He said he felt more at home aboard a ship than at home, which makes sense to me because you spend so much time, months at a time. Because we talked to some of the people on some of our cruises, and I've been on this cruise for 6 months. It's like, bro, what?
Whoa. Yeah, it is birthdays, it's holidays, like constantly on that ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you must love it. But yeah, like you said, Christmas, New Year's, everybody, you're always on the ship. And he had 800 people that worked for him, specifically in his department. So Rose, being a dancer on the ship was her dream job. She called it heaven on earth, which what we talked about because she got to explore the world, was in the best shape of her life.
Period.
She had friends from all over the world, and I think that's really, really cool. And I think it's not, we shouldn't discount that.
No.
Where being able to broaden your horizons. And then we see footage of Captain Francesco Scutino. I want to make sure I pronounce his name right.
I'm going to warn y'all beforehand, I'm going to mispronounce every single name that we have today, but it's okay. It's fine.
We're trying. Yeah, Scutino, I think is his name. So in the footage, he's welcoming the passengers aboard. So they always have that moment where your captain introduces themselves to you. And Rose tells us that he was a newer captain to this ship and tells a story about when her mom came on board the ship once, and the captain was telling her how he was going to go fishing with one of his friends, but not to tell anyone because he wasn't supposed to do that.
I don't know.
He'd be breaking the rules. I'm just saying. So we go back to Manrico, the hotel manager, and he says the captain called him at 9 p.m. So I just want to set this up. They have literally just left their port.
Just left.
It's
Same
like
day.
2 hours since they started this cruise.
Yes.
And we're already about to get into it. So let's go. So it's 9 p.m. The captain told him that the head waiter asked if the ship could do a sail-by salute on the Giglio Island because his sister and mother lived there. And the captain was like, bet.
I swear.
So we're going to go off course because the head waiter asked him to do a drive-by.
If I'd known, you can just go anywhere if we just ask nicely.
Right. Let's just head this other place.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
So the captain called Manrico because he asked if he wanted to join him on the bridge for the sail-by. I guess they were friends.
Yeah.
So Manrico was like, this feels weird. It was dark. There's not much to see anyway, which we saw later. But since it's the captain's decision to do it, everyone complied. And I think that's something important to note because the captain is the king on the ship. And if he says do it, then they do it. Yeah. So then we hear audio between Captain and Chiro, who works for the bridge crew. So he tells them they're 6 miles away from Giglio Island and will be there by 9:44 p.m. Stefania was on the top deck with her boyfriend, enjoying the breeze and the night. And her boyfriend said, it feels like the Titanic.
Boy, why would you say that? Why would you actually say that?
We were having a good time.
Yeah.
Like he was holding her from behind.
Like
the
Rose
breeze.
and Jack. And he said, it feels like the Titanic. Actually, Andrea, that was his name. Get up out of here with that.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? All right. So at this point, finally, we're at the pinnacle of the night. Everyone's having dinner, enjoying their time. So now we're going to go through where everyone is currently. So we have John and Megan, the new parents. They just had dinner, and now they're in their rooms, putting Lila to bed, saying goodnight. Everyone's like, cool, it was a long day. We're enjoying ourselves. They're laying down to go to bed. Now we have Patricia and Nicholas. They're roaming the halls, enjoying themselves, enjoying the night. Everyone is enjoying the night. They just got on the boat. So that, like, I don't know, that adrenaline when you first get on the boat is still really high. You know what I mean? The first night is everything on a cruise ship. So they're enjoying their time. Then we have Stefania.
Yeah.
I told you how to pronounce their names. Stefania, she eventually gets a call from her mom saying, hey, we're at dinner. They're serving dinner. Come join us. This is supposed to be the dinner because at midnight, it's going to be her mom's birthday the next day. So she says, come join us. And she said, okay, sure. She puts on her nice shoes and everything, and she heads down with her boyfriend. They're now at the back of the deck 4, I believe, and in the restaurant. So all 4 of them, mom's friend, Stefania, and her boyfriend, Andrea. They're enjoying their time like everyone else. Manrico is on the bridge with the captain. Rose is on deck 5 at the back of the ship as well because she wanted to go visit her boyfriend that works at a bar at the back of the ship.
Right, I forgot.
So they finished working. They finished their little shift. They take a 30-minute and they're like, hey, let's go to the back of the ship so I can go visit my boyfriend. Yeah. So she's at the back of the ship as well. And then all of a sudden, Manrico is looking out at the water. He's like, we're getting closer and closer to the water or to the rocks. I can see the shore. I can see the people's faces on shore. What are we doing so close to the rocks? And the person next to him, the head waiter, was like, it's fine. Captain knows what he's doing. It's great. He knows what he's doing. He's supposed to know what he's doing.
He wouldn't have done this if he knew what he was doing.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, before the head waiter could even finish his sentence of everything's going to be fine, we hear this crunching, painful, just dragging sound against the side of the boat. And the whole ship just starts rocking and shaking. And there's glasses falling. People are tripping and falling, water spilling. It is horrendous.
Yeah.
They said the worst sound you've ever heard in your life because it went from a crunching sound to a like screeching sound, and it vibrated through the whole ship. Instantly, everyone retelling their story knew something was wrong instantly.
Yeah.
Everyone
because
knew
how do
something
you
was wrong.
not know?
Yeah. Everyone's panicking. Crew members are panicking. The bridge is in a flurry.
Yeah.
And the captain's like, oh God, what have I done?
That was that clip, huh?
What have you done? Are you... Okay.
What have you done?
Yeah, I have notes for you, Captain. This is when we meet our last person that we're interviewing. I'm going to call him Singh because I do not want to butcher his first name. But he was a chef. He was one of 180 chefs. Manoj?
Yeah.
Manoj Singh? Manoj Singh. This is when we meet him. And he was in the kitchen preparing the dinner rush again. And he's one of 180 chefs.
Wow.
He's sitting here, totally normal, making dinner. Boom. Something is horrible happening. There's plates crashing on the floor. They said the fryer, like the oil was dripping on the floor. People were panicking. He's like, it's fine. It's just rough water, right? We'll be fine. A couple more seconds passed. They made it seem like it was the longest, like, event ever. And it might have been like 20 seconds, actually, of just screeching.
If you've ever experienced an earthquake,
you know,
that could last 5 seconds, but it feels like forever.
Yeah. And so he's distraught, and he's like, something is wrong. So we meet him, and he's panicking as well. Then they take us back up to the bridge, and the captain says, God, what have I done? Everyone is literally panicking. And Manrico basically describes looking over at the edge and seeing the water just being sucked into the boat. On the left side of it, we have a hole. What happens?
Something.
Remember those rocks I mentioned? Yeah, we ran into one of those. Mid-shift on the left side of the boat, now water is leaking into the bottom hole of the ship.
Got it.
Tragic.
Yes.
Literally tragic. So Stefania, her mom is literally telling her, because they're in the restaurant at the back of the ship, they felt the brunt of it because midship and port side, they felt most of the impact. And so they're in the restaurant panicking. So is everyone else. And Stefania's mom's like, it's going to be fine. We're okay. Fine. Breathe. But the crew members are actively panicking. So we all know something's wrong.
Right.
And then basically we go back to John and Megan. They're in their room.
Hold on 1 second. For those who haven't been on a cruise, when you get on a cruise, most of the restaurants are either in the mid or towards the rear for visual purposes because it's aesthetically pleasing.
Definitely.
Okay? Right.
All right. So the restaurant was in the rear and it was on the 5th deck, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, the one that Stefania was in was on the 4th deck, and the one that the dancer was in was on the 5th deck, I believe.
Okay. So that's all in the rear, and that's behind where the actual leak is.
Yes.
It's not a leak, excuse me.
Behind.
Yeah, the hole.
The
Big
hole.
ass hole.
The hole.
Big
The
ass
hole in the hole, okay?
Yes.
HOLE and HULL. So now we're back with John and Megan in their perspective, and they're going to sleep, right? And then they get jolted awake by this sound, and they're like, oh my God, did you feel that? Did you hear that? What happened?
Right.
And John instantly had a crazy reaction. He went straight into survival mode.
Yes.
He said, pick up Lila, we need to go. He puts on some jeans. He has no shirt on. Megan picks up Lila, forgets the pacifier, and they're straight out the door.
I mean, you could take 5-10 seconds to put a shirt on.
He said no.
To put a coat on that baby.
He said no. He went into survival mode. A little bit of panic leaked into that survival mode, and he
I get it. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a new dad. He's like, let me protect my family.
Yeah. He did not want to wait. And so they're on their way out and they start heading up some stairs. And that's all that we see of them for now. Patricia and Nicholas now. We're with them. They instantly know something is wrong.
Right.
And Nicholas says, we need to get out of here. No one is waiting for any confirmation.
Right.
No one is like, hey, do we wait on the crew to tell us something? They're like, let's get off the ship immediately.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because at what point do you go with your gut versus what these people are telling you that look paranoid and scared?
Thank you. Because I'm not trusting their faces. They look panicked.
Right.
Exactly. And also, for those who don't know, newer ships at least, there are speakers that come directly into your room.
Yes.
You can hear everything that comes on from the speakers from the captain. All right. So they would be able to hear it, but nothing was said.
Nothing
was
is said.
No.
People are panicking and there's nothing being said to them. So everyone's like, okay, let's head to the lifeboats.
Right.
That's where John and Megan are heading. That's where Patricia and Nicholas are eventually heading as well. But they're like, we need to get off right now. And so they take us back to the bridge. They keep us back to the bridge like 1,000 times because they just want us to hear, because the entire time they're playing black box recordings of the captain, the chief engineer, the what was it called? What's his name?
Chiro?
His name. I'm not a fan of him, but a bunch of people, basically like the audio recordings of what they were thinking and what they were saying during this time, because they just want to explicitly say, this is the actions that they took and why they didn't do ABC. So it's important that we understand that.
Absolutely.
So at this time, the captain says, give me the chief engineer. I need to assess the situation. What's going on? When he gets a hold of the chief engineer, they start discussing where and how much water there is. The chief engineer is near the bottom of the boat. And he's like, I'm on my way. I need to go see what's going on. And he's like, oh my God, there's so much water.
You're not even there yet?
Yeah. Okay. He's like, there's so much water on this side. Let me see if I can get around to the other side. It happened half a second ago, and there's so much water in the boat already.
Right.
So at this point, you hear the panic in his voice.
And the captain knows,
Yes.
I want to keep pushing this. He is fully informed. Yes.
Fully informed. And so they start discussing all of that, and basically they're saying that there's two, what was it called? I'm going to describe it as buckets.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
There's a bunch of buckets at the bottom of the ship, essentially. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. 2 of them are completely full with water already.
Yes.
And it just happened, and we know this is super bad. And the captain's like, so what does that mean? Are we sinking? And they leave us with that. Why do you keep going back and forth?
I
want to hear all of his stuff.
Just play it for me.
He said, are we sinking? I don't know. Are we? They take us back to Megan and John. They're rushing up the stairs because in John's mind, the boat is literally going to start tipping over. You can kind of feel it already. It's at a degree already. And so he's like, we need to get off the boat. So they're heading up to try to get to deck 4, which are where the boats are to get off.
Right. The lifeboats.
Muster station. Thank you.
Muster stations.
Muster stations are basically your safety zones and where you can get onto the boats and get in contact with crew members and people that help you with the evacuation plan, essentially.
Exactly.
You're assigned a muster station every single time you get onto a boat. They want to make sure that you know which deck, which side of the boat. There's about 4 or 5 on each side, I think. So everyone has access to when and where and everything like that. So
Absolutely.
It's very critical you know where your muster station is when you get on your boat so you can understand your evacuation plan.
Yeah, that's serious. I mean, I think a lot of people maybe don't take it seriously, but
No.
knowing exactly where it is
Yes.
important, because when you go there, you're supposed to have people who know what they're talking about telling you what to do.
Exactly.
But that's not what happened here.
That is not what happened. So we're with John and Megan. They're heading up the stairs. Everything's fine until, boom, lights go out. We start panicking. Because, not a good sign. You hear audio recordings of people just screaming.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
It is. It's so scary because not only did this thing happen and I'm panicking because I don't know what's going on, then you turn the lights out on me?
Exactly. And at this time, literally Megan is struggling because Lila, they forgot the pacifier. So she's just
Right.
crying and crying. And she's like, I feel sick. And her husband's like, throw up and keep moving.
Like, let's keep it moving. Her husband was not playing.
No, he said, we need to get off and now. So I
Right.
respect his like dedication to like, we are not safe. And he was not asking anyone permission. He said,
Right.
we're going now.
Good job, Dad.
And now we're back with Patricia and Nicholas. And by the time they make it to deck 5, there was a bunch of people just standing around. Some people had life vests on, some people didn't.
Right.
Crew members were just standing around. It's like a bunch of people were waiting for direction and no one was giving it. Again, there was no announcement over the loudspeakers.
Still.
Nothing. No information is being shared at all. And when the lights went out, when in their perspective, that's when all hell broke loose as well. We go back to John and Megan. They eventually lose each other in the stairwell because they just don't know what's going on.
Yes.
They're panicked. They eventually find each other again. And John is like, put your finger on my belt loop. Do not let me go. And then he starts again. He just keeps moving.
We don't have time for this. Let's go.
And I rock with him.
Yeah.
Now, back on the bridge. The captain is literally opening up the ship plans and he's trying to assess where the damages are, how much damage is being done, what he can do about it. ABC, it's literally whatever. And then at that point, they get a call from a bartender in one of the restaurants in the back of the ship. And he's like, hey, the people here are panicked. Can you make an announcement over the ship
Right.
and tell everyone that everything is fine?
Right.
Everything is fine.
Is everything fine?
Everything is not fine. But you hear audio recording of people on the bridge saying, it was an electrical, it was a blackout. We can do that, right? Yeah, it was a blackout. You can hear them actively making a choice to lie to these people and tell them that it's blackout.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, just make the announcement. Next thing you know, you hear an announcement over, hi, I'm speaking on behalf of the captain. We experienced a blackout. Everything is fine. We're assessing the situation. Please go back to your staterooms. We're okay. We'll let you know
what?
if we have any more information.
The thing is, you lied to them and then you put them in even more danger because you said go back to your stateroom.
back to
you
your
know what's
staterooms.
happening. Oh,
Yeah. That is the worst advice literally ever.
yeah.
And so Patricia was like, absolutely not. I'm not going back to my stateroom. I don't know what's happening, but I'm not going back to my stateroom. The lack of information is the pivotal part in this story.
Exactly.
Now, at this time, Manrico on the bridge, he is terrified because he knows that they're actively being untruthful to their passengers. And so they're like, what do we do? But again, you established earlier, if the captain says do this,
They do.
you must do this. It is literally like a military hierarchy. I think that's how they described
Yeah.
it. Like there are
Ranks.
ranks. You do what you are told,
Exactly.
which is so unfortunate because in a situation like this, when he's like, we're lying to our passengers,
Yeah.
he had to lie too.
And he's not making any decisions, the captain. And so I understand if your captain has got it like that and they're putting it like, I know what's supposed to happen and I'm putting out fires left and right. Yes. But this man is not doing anything.
No, there's a bunch of ums and uhs and panicked faces, and then you're like, let's lie.
Okay. All right.
This all seems wrong. Now we go back to seeing the chef in the kitchen, and he was told to stay calm, stay where they were, and to, quote, prepare for dinner service. His superiors were telling him to calm down and continue preparing dinner for dinner service.
Get back to work.
What? I wish you would. And then at this point, other crew members are also telling other passengers nothing's happening as well. It's fine. Take us back to now the bridge crew, and they realize that those 2 little buckets are full. So that's when they realize they're full.
Right.
And they realize that they are actually sinking. That's when the captain finally gets his confirmation that they're sinking. Still, doing nothing about it.
No announcement.
And then we finally realize that the captain, he gets on the phone with the crisis coordinator who is not on the boat, but he's somewhere nearby, and they start communicating about the situation. On the phone, he admits, I quote, I messed up.
Okay.
He says that, I messed up, and that the whole ship is flooded. He tells the crisis counselor that he's going to drop the anchor, they're going to station in place, and then they're going to get tugboats to take the passengers to shore.
I have a question. Don't we have lifeboats?
No. No, we do not, because this is not a crisis. In the captain's mind, this is just an unfortunate circumstance. We're going to get tugboats because if we get lifeboats, then this is a code red situation. But it's chill. It's fine.
Okay.
We're not
sinking or anything.
Yeah, no. It's cool.
God.
And then we go back to the restaurant with Stefania. Stefania.
It's pretty, right?
It is very pretty. I got to get it right, though. Get on me for that. But we're at the restaurant with Stefania, and crew members eventually finally tell them to just head up to the pool deck. That we're fine. Let's not, shelter in place or whatever.
Right.
Let's just go up to the pool deck. So they make their way up there, and then they finally see that they're literally so close to the island. They can see the shore.
Right there.
They can see the people on shore. They can see the lights. And then they're like, oh, wait, we're fine. We wouldn't be in danger so close to shore, right? And so everyone lets their guard down.
Oh, man. You know you can drown in a bathtub, right? Like, it does not matter. So, okay.
Yeah. So everyone thought they'd be safe. And now on the bridge deck, in the engineering room, they're all panicking because they're realizing that the diesel isn't powering up. Electrical wasn't powering up. Engine was down. Everything was down.
Shut down.
That means all of their emergency systems would not power up. So we're out of luck.
Okay.
We're dead in the water, essentially.
Yeah, I'm panicking now.
Yeah,
just
now we're
reliving
panicking.
This. Yeah.
And eventually they let the people out of the kitchen.
They stopped holding them hostage. Okay.
In the kitchen. And Singh, he found a bunch of people in the elevator when the power went out, and they were stuck in there. So they managed to break them out. Now, I want you guys to note this for later, for when I describe additional information that we found later on, that a bunch of people were, this is not like a one-time case. People were stuck in elevators.
Oh, wow. So they were in elevators when the power went down.
Yes.
Got it.
See where I'm going with that? Now, at the back of the ship, the area is literally lifting out of the waterline. They're at a nice 20-degree angle now. Things are clearly not okay, but then it's fine.
It's fine.
Everything is still fine. The water level is rising, but everything is fine. And they're tipping, and nothing is going to happen. No more, announcements over the loudspeakers. No alarms, no nothing. And people start getting way more panicked. And then Patricia and Nicholas, who are on deck 5, they're like, enough of this.
Yeah.
And they start breaking through some of the lifeboats.
Yes.
They open the door. They're trying to figure out the pulley system. They said, if you're not going to do it, if the crew's not going to do it, we're going to do it by ourselves.
Right.
But before they can get any further than that, a crew member magically wants to claim his power or his seniority over them and says, you guys aren't supposed to be in here, and literally shuts the door on them. He's actively preventing them from saving their lives.
Exactly. It's hard for me to think about this because we've watched it, but telling this step by step, it's like, what's the point here? Are you trying for people to die?
Like, I don't understand why no one is doing anything. Now, at this point, it's literally 40 minutes after the collision. No one is doing anything. No one's saying anything. And the Coast Guard eventually reaches out and says, hey, we're getting some phone calls because people stopped asking for permission and they called the police. They're so close to the island that they can call the police.
Call the police.
So the Coast Guard reaches out to the bridge and says, hey, is there anything going on? Do you guys need any help? Captain says, oh, we just were having an issue. We're just going to put the anchor down. We're going to figure out the situation. We're going to assess, and we're fine. Coast Guard was like, do you need any help? They're like, no.
Not that we have a huge hole in the side of our ship and we are taking in water and sinking.
No? Okay. You don't need assistance? Love it. And now, a couple minutes later, the Coast Guard reaches back out and they're like, hey, we're getting more phone calls. Your ship isn't looking good. It's like this now.
Oh, my God.
Is there anything you need to tell us? They're like, oh, no, the blackout was this. And then we're assessing the leak. The Coast Guard's like, wait, you have a leak?
So when did you have a leak?
I think they slipped up. I don't think they meant to say that part.
Yeah.
And the Coast Guard was like, hey, so do you need help? Are there any casualties? What was the cause of the leak? What was the cause of the leak was one of the questions. They answered back, no casualties in terms of the leak, and we're good.
Yeah.
They didn't answer the question on what the cause of the leak was.
Nope. They just said the leak isn't causing any casualties. We're good.
And yes, we need assistance, and then that's it.
But we just need tugboats still.
Tugboats. But they're still not doing anything about the life rafts that are sitting there perfectly beautiful, ready to use.
Exactly.
Now, we're 47 minutes after the collision. It is literally chaos, and they finally push the alarm button.
Finally.
Finally.
And Megan said, quote, "No shit. This is what we've been waiting on all night."
47 minutes, y'all.
47 minutes, which you can see there's an emergency. But fine, let's move forward, right? So everyone and everything gets real ugly after this. And I don't know, it's like I don't want to give excuses to people, but I do know once you claim there's an emergency, people start tripping.
Panicking.
So, but the panic level goes even higher. So hundreds of people are fighting to get to these lifeboats. Lots of shoving, children, babies, elderly people, nobody's safe. Everybody's getting shoved. And then we hear an audio of a passenger calling the police and said, "We are slaughtering each other like sheep. Please send someone." I know. So Manrico tells us that the bridge is also chaos because none of the officers know what to do, which is fascinating to me because how much training do they go through in these situations?
Oh, I can't wait.
You know, you know? Oh, hell yeah. This one, my baby. So Manrico's like, "Look, the alarm should have sounded less than 5 minutes after impact, and it has been 47 minutes, you just said?" So he thinks the captain wanted to wait and see how things played out instead of taking charge, which makes no sense because if you aren't taking charge as the captain, who else is supposed to?
Thank you.
So Manrico leaves the bridge and goes to deck 4 to try and lead the rescue operation. And we go back to Nicholas and Patricia, and they start organizing the evacuation and getting people onto lifeboats, which was really cool to see because we do have footage of a lot of this. And Patricia said, "You never know what kind of person you are until emergencies happen. Will you stand still or will you go into action?" So we saw that our captain stood still and lots of civilians, passengers, took action.
Untrained personnel. Yeah.
So these boats only hold 150 people. And so once they were full, people started offering money to get on the boats. And then when they were running out of room, people started saying their names and locations on camera just in case they didn't make it off the ship. And so there was a couple of videos where somebody was like, "My name is Danielle. I live in such and such," and da-da-da. So there's record so their loved ones could find them. That's really hard.
That's really sad because you thought you were going to die.
Yeah, because you couldn't get on a ship. Excuse me, a little boat. So people are in the boats waiting on the signal to abandon ship so they can lower to the water. So this is a big deal. You can get on the boats all you want, but until the captain says abandon ship, nobody can abandon ship. Okay?
It's a flaw in the system.
Yeah. And Manrico's like, "Why hasn't the captain called for it yet? Everybody's just sitting around in these boats and on the decks just waiting." And Stefania, she's with her family, and she realizes that they're the only ones without life jackets. They either didn't get them, they also were kept in the restaurant, so they weren't able to grab any there. But the problem is that her mom's friend can't swim. And so mom was really freaked out about that. And she's like, "Look, we're just going to go back to the room and we're going to get our life vests. And also I'm going to change my shoes," because she was wearing heels. As you know, when you go out on the, in the boat at night, you dress nicely, and her feet were hurting her. And Stefania was like, "That's 2 decks below where we are. I don't think you should go back to the room." But mom's like, "It's fine. I'm going to go. You stay here with your boyfriend and I'll be back." That's where we end that part. So now it's 10:56 p.m., 71 minutes after the collision. We hear an audio. The bridge crew is asking desperately if they can announce that they are abandoning ship. Desperately. Yeah. And the captain says, "We're evacuating the passengers to shore. That's different."
Why was he so pressed on the wording?
Because once you say abandon ship, that's it.
This is it.
This is it.
Like, we're
here. There. We're at that moment.
I'm so confused as to why we're waiting.
This is all on the captain, and this is why I said he's our villain, because I feel like there's some pride there. There's something going on. It's like your career, your image is better than saving these people. I don't understand. So when Stefania gets on a lifeboat, she calls her mom to see where she's at, and mom says she's about to get on a boat as well. So she relaxes a little bit. So the lifeboats are finally released, and there's footage of one pulling away from the ship, and they're shocked to see that the ship is sinking. This is the first indication that the passengers have that the ship is actually sinking. So there's a deck where you get onto the boats, and that is like right above the water.
Right.
Yeah. So not great.
Not good.
Yeah,
It's
it's tilted like this. And so if you're looking at it, so it's like that.
Right. Yeah.
And so this side had a bunch of boats. There's boats over here. And I'm going to talk about the high side in a few minutes. So now that's what you know what I'm talking about. It's the high side of the boat that's sticking out of the water.
Exactly.
So the people that are on the lifeboat decide not to announce that the ship is sinking to the passengers still on the ship. Yeah, he was like, I don't know, that would freak me out if I was on the ship still. And then he goes, but I'm glad I'm off.
Yeah, whoever said that, I'm fighting you instantly.
Yeah.
They deserve to know that the boat that they're currently standing on is going
sinking.
down.
Exactly. But he's like, I don't want them to freak out. And it's like, they're already freaking out. And how about we help people help themselves? You know, but whatever. John and Megan are on a lifeboat on the high side of the boat. Okay, so suddenly the boat that they're in just drops and tumbles. And people were like flung everywhere. There's like bodies on top of bodies. They're bleeding. Everybody's injured in there. And what happened was, since they were on the high side here, when they dropped the boat, it basically landed on the ship.
Right.
And they're stuck.
Yeah.
So they're sitting on the ship in a boat.
In a boat, which they should have thought of the mechanics of that.
Or maybe get them off 71 minutes ago. Maybe they would have been fine.
You think,
Oh
right?
my God. So then we hear audio of the captain saying, come this way. Let's go this way, lads. Grab your radios and come with me. Take those stairs. Let's go to the outside deck. And the bridge crew answers, abandon the bridge. And captain says, I did not say abandon the bridge. Come with me.
So you're abandoning the bridge, but you don't want to say it?
Just like we're not abandoning ship.
But, okay. But we're physically abandoning the bridge without announcing to the ship that we're abandoning.
No. Or to whoever they need to announce to. I mean, I don't know how it works. Do you have a boss? Do you have, who is directing you? Like, I'm sure you have to announce to someone, but he doesn't want to do that. And he was just like, come with me. The way he was talking was really like he was kind of whispering it, like, hey. Let's bounce real quick.
That's crazy.
So then we cut to a picture of the ship almost completely on its side. It's in the water and it's just about like that.
Tilted.
Tilted like crazy. So Manrico confirms that he never, ever heard abandoned ship in this whole time. He thinks the captain found it difficult to say because when you do, the ship is considered lost.
Babe, we're there.
We're
Half
there.
the ship is in the water.
Exactly. So in order to join a cruise line, you have to know how to swim. And I mention that because Manoj, we go back to him saying he didn't know how to swim. And he was freaking out about it because he was still stuck on the ship and thought he was going to die. But one of his colleagues found him and took him to deck 4 where there was a lifeboat. So he and his colleague get on the lifeboat. And when they were pulling off, he saw that there was still so many people waiting to be rescued. And then his friend taps him and he's like, hey, is that the captain sitting over there inside this lifeboat?
What?
But we got to go back before he actually got on the lifeboat
And his story.
You
So-
want to tell his story?
Yeah. So Singh, when he found out that things were happening and he found out that there was a leak, the word leak started going around the ship. And when they finally let them out the kitchen around that time, he was like, oh, wait, I have to go back to my stateroom because underneath his bed held all of his money, all of his hard-worked, earned money, and that he needed because that was supposed to allow him and his family to live a better life. And so he tried to go back down to, which one?
Deck 4, I believe.
It was some like A, B, C or something like that. I
can't
believe he
remember.
was like in C, deck C. And a security guard stopped him and was like, no, you're not going down there. He's like, I need that money. That's my whole life. It's really important. He's like, nothing is more important than your life.
Yeah.
So he did not go down for his money. And he went back up to deck 4.
And he was able to get on a lifeboat. So if he had pushed it, he probably wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number one, I'm so glad he got off for his own life, but also I'm glad he was able to identify the captain, who again was on the lifeboat.
One of the first people on the lifeboat?
And Singh said, "Why is he getting off before me?" So I looked this up because I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I was talking about. So why is it a big deal that the captain got off the ship at this point? So according to maritime law, a captain abandoning his ship prematurely while passengers are still in peril is considered gross negligence. And if a captain flees, leaving vulnerable passengers behind, they can face severe criminal charges, including manslaughter and imprisonment. Imprisonment was interesting to me.
Because they're trapped on the vessel that you are commanding.
Exactly. Because there's this whole go down with the ship, and that came from the fact that you should be the last person off the ship. Nobody's saying you have to die.
Yeah.
But you have to do everything you can to make sure all of these people, these souls that you're responsible for, get off of this ship before you bounce.
Exactly.
And here he is, right here.
Never
he was on
once
there.
announcing abandoned ship.
Nope. And if they hadn't accidentally said a leak, they probably wouldn't have said anything ever.
Right.
The boat is in the water, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
So at this point, the ship is tilting heavily, and a lifeboat is stuck trying to lower into the water, and it starts tipping. And so this is on the low side. This isn't on the high side. So it tips so much that it flings people out of the opening of the boat, and people fall into the water.
Right.
So
Freezing water.
freezing cold water. So we go back to Rose, our dancer, and her crew friends, and they are working together to help a bunch of passengers cross a large hallway from the high side of the ship to the low side. And this thing, I'm going to talk about this hallway again later, but it's really, really wide, and it's kind of doing like this. And so it's in the time that they were helping him, it was doing like this. So they were flinging passengers across so they would kind of go over this section to get to safety so they can get to a boat. So by the time they got to them to fling themselves over, it was straight up and down. And there's no way that they could get over it. So her and 4 other crew members were stranded. And they were like, it's basically an elevator shaft. I'm not about to do this to myself.
That part.
So we go back to John and Megan. They were stuck on the high side in a lifeboat, and they climbed out of the lifeboat and got back onto the ship. And they were like, this was a really low point for us.
Yeah.
Because you thought you were safe, and now you had to go back into this thing. And there's no more lifeboats at that time.
I mean, there is, but none that we can...
That we can use, because as we can see on this side, they're useless. They're pointless. So they had to have a serious discussion, because if you remember, they have a small child. And they were like, do we jump? Do we jump from this high point all the way down? Would Lila, their baby, survive? Can they swim with her? And they realized at that point that they might not get off the ship. You know, and it's really crazy because we heard a lot of people hit that moment where they were like, I'm trying to survive, but maybe this is it for me. And that's really scary.
Yeah.
So, but that crew member actually found them and directed them to the other side of the ship where they might survive a jump and be able to swim to safety with their baby. So we go back to Manrico, and he saw a group of passengers down this hallway, and he was like, okay, let me go over there to try to help them. But the ship was tilted so much that instead of walking on the floor, he was walking on the walls on the side. And he's walking, and he steps on a door, breaks through, falls into darkness, out like that, passed out.
Worst nightmare.
Exactly, right?
Like right now.
Can't do that. So we leave him for a little while. We go on to land because some of the first passengers have made it to land. And it's chaos over there, too. Nobody knows where to go. Nobody's telling them what to do. So they're in stores. They're in the church. They're kind of just all over the place. And lots of people are looking for their family, including Stefania. If you remember, she can't find her mom anywhere. And there's a lot of people still trapped on the ship, in the boats. You can see from the dock, they're waving their hands. They're just begging for help. They can see them. So John and Megan, they found that same cross hallway that we were talking about before. It went from the high side to the low side. And they were like, you know what? We're going to slide.
Dude.
Whatever we got to do, right? So they get on their butts and they slide down this hallway. And they said every time the boat shifted, furniture would break loose. And so there's furniture falling. He's got his arms around the baby, and they get to the bottom, and the little baby hits her head. She knocks her head on something. They didn't tell us what. And so, of course, Dad's panicking. And now it's Mom's turn, I think, to step up.
Yeah.
And so she runs over. She checks the baby. She's like, we're fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
Like, let's
We
just
have
keep
to
it
go.
rolling. We don't have time to deal with this. We'll deal with this later. So Manrico, he wakes up. And he realizes not only is he in a dark restaurant, his leg is broken. And he's stuck.
Right.
So he starts shouting, nobody's hearing him. So he grabs a frying pan and he starts banging against the wall, just like, anybody know that I'm here? Then we cut to Rose, the dancer, and she actually heard that knocking, but she was not in any situation to be able to leave. She was trapped where she was as well. She couldn't even leave the section of the boat that she was in. So John and Megan make it to the low side of the ship, and it was like, maybe they won't get into a boat. And so on a last-ditch effort, Megan was like, just take my baby. She was trying to give the baby to a woman who was on a boat, and she's like, Bambina, just take my baby and take her over there to the shore. And the woman was like, shook her head at her.
She said no. She tried to explain, like, maybe she wasn't in a position to say yes, but to shake your head no. When I have my baby saying, please take my baby is a crazy thing to do. I'm sorry.
I try not to judge, but I'm taking that baby.
I'm doing anything
I'm
to take that
taking
baby.
that baby. Even, like, I'm not saying I'm going to keep this baby forever.
No, but like,
Take her to safety.
and she said,
Okay. It's interesting to see how people react in emergency situations, just like Patricia said.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, will you help people, but like, will you actively not hurt people?
yeah.
Yeah.
Before you go on, can we go back to the dancer and how she ended up getting out? Because she
Later.
was working. Are you going to do that later?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, you missed it.
No worries. But they ended up seeing that lifeboats were coming back from the shore, and they were like, thank God. So they were able to get on a lifeboat and finally get off the ship with their daughter.
Yeah.
So then we get to Rose, where she's stuck where she's at, and she hears helicopters overhead. But where she's stuck, there's kind of like an overhang, so she knows that they wouldn't be able to see her, and she's stuck behind glass. So she remembers that she has a flashlight, pulls that sucker out, and she's just,
Hey, I'm right here.
I'm right here. And there's footage from the shore, and you could
You can
see
see
her.
her.
And it was just her outline, and she's just like, help me, save me. Then they have audio of somebody calling the Coast Guard who's in the helicopter, and they're like, there's somebody down there, go ahead and get them.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the heroes they are, they rappelled down, they grabbed Sarah and all the crew workers and pulled them out one by one.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. That's all you, boo.
All right. So at this point, the majority of people are either finding ways to get off, jumping into other lifeboats. The lifeboats that were taken to shore are now coming back
Right.
to try to get some more people. There's our main people that we're talking to are already off the boat, are already in safety at shore.
Right.
And this is when we start to meet Barbie. This is our correspondent, and she tells us all the tea on the investigation, the trial, and a little bit of information afterwards. We love Barbie.
We love Barbie.
So basically, Barbie is at her home. She's chilling in Rome, which, fire, by the way. She's chilling in Rome, and she sees on her timeline that she sees a bunch of things about this cruise ship that is stranded and that is sinking. And she's like,
Right.
well, the only way I can find more information is if I go. So she literally that night gets in her car and drives all the way there. She gets to the island at the next morning, 6:30 a.m. It's light out. There's a lot of people on the island. There's a bunch of people who are just like cuddled up in this church with those like silver blankets, just trying to get warm. At this time, like evacuation efforts are starting, rescue efforts are starting. The lifeguards are there, the Coast Guards are there, the fire department is there,
Right.
and they start planning how they're going to go in and try to save some lives. And so this is when we meet, what's his name? Francesco Boraria, I must say. Look, he is a fire brigade diver, and he specializes in cave diving.
I have to say, I'm panicking immediately.
Immediately, because what do you mean?
I am claustrophobic
Yeah.
like a motherfucker.
Like, and his whole job is to go in tight spaces and save lives. So fire. But they also know that the water is really, really cold. It is now the morning, and the chances of survival are literally going down by the minute.
Wow.
So, but they also have to keep in mind that the people who are rescuing the people can't become victims, because there are a bunch of loose things. There are cables. We don't know if the power came back on. There are so many dangerous elements to trying to save lives in a cruise ship that is halfway underwater.
Submerged, yeah.
Yeah. So they plan to do a couple of people at a time in 40-minute increments, and then you have to come back out. So it's like 40 minutes in, come back out, 40 minutes in. You cannot just stay under there.
Right.
Because you can't keep track. And so for 48 hours, they go in and out trying to search for people. Now, Manrico. At this time, he is one of the last people still in the boat. They have come in, they've saved people, they've pulled people out, they've gotten loved ones, yada, 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 but he's still stuck in that restaurant with a broken leg. And he's been in water, in cold water,
Oh, my God.
threatening himself with hypothermia for 36 hours. He thinks this is it.
Yeah.
At this time, he's literally starting to reflect on his life. This ship, his job, is his whole life. He has no family or anything. And he's like, if I make it out of this, I'm going to start a family.
Good for him.
I have to have something other than this, because no way am I about to die and I don't have anyone to think of.
Work ain't it.
No.
Like, you can enjoy your job, you can enjoy what you do, and you can hate it.
Yeah.
But it cannot be your only.
It cannot be everything.
Oh, my God.
A good balance.
Yes.
So he starts really reflecting on this, but yeah, it's pretty traumatizing. Then they show us a bunch of clips of our people finally making it home, finally seeing their loved ones again.
Right.
Basically being like, I made it out, but they're leaving with all sorts of baggage, not the ones that they came on with, but like emotional baggage.
Shit is still in the room.
Actually, everyone lost everything. Like, no, who left with their things?
Even a passport, because it made me think about that. I was like, okay, most of these people don't live here, and they have to travel home. Like, how does that work?
You have, man. Actually, I'm stranded in Italy. We're still in Italy, about 2-3 hours away from our port, because it was that quick.
So fast. I cannot
How you
believe
mess up that quickly? You know what I mean? Actually tragic. And then we literally go back to Manrico, and he's sitting there chilling, and he's still occasionally banging on some stuff like, "Hey, can we save my life?" And
hey, if you don't have anything else to do,
if you're chilling. And the diver, the fire brigade diver, he was like, he got word that they needed one more person. Apparently, the survivors were like, "Hey, we're looking for one more person. He is the hospitality manager. Can you go and save his life?" And so they go back in one more time, looking for him specifically.
Wow.
And so they go around and they find him. He's in the restaurant, still alive. And when he's retelling this story, he's literally in tears. He's like, 13 years, and I'm still emotional about it, because they could have left me.
Yeah.
They could have assumed that I was gone. Like, I was the last person up in there, and they still came back and saved my life.
So I love that.
Yeah, so it's really, really, really emotional.
First responders, like, have a special place in my heart. Like, firefighter, like, nobody wants to go into danger.
No.
But they're like, I got you. I'm coming in.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
So at this time, now everyone that we know of is away from the boat, out of the boat. You kind of see the footage now of the boat. It is like completely on its side. Like, if this is the boat, this is now the boat.
Oh,
like,
my God.
halfway underwater. It's tragic. It looks so beaten up and bruised. And then now you can finally see, now that it's light out, clearly the big rock that's in the bottom of the boat. You see this big scrape, and then you see the rock that apparently was above water when they hit it.
Listen, it wasn't hidden underneath the water. Like, I know it was dark, but also that's why you don't go there.
That part. They were playing it way too close. Way too close. But now you can see the big boulder that's on the side of the ship.
Yeah.
And so now we got a situation here.
Yes, we do.
But before we get into that,
Francesco?
No?
No,
Miss Ma'am that I keep mispronouncing her name.
Oh, Stefania.
Stefania.
Yes.
Stefania. So she is with her boyfriend on shore. She sees a bunch of people coming in and out. It's morning now. Where's her mom? Apparently, it took 2 years for them to finally find her mom and her mom's friend's body. 2 years for her to find closure. I believe that is one of the last bodies that they actually pulled out of the wreckage.
I think so, yeah.
Because in the effort to get the boat, and they had to turn it up, leak out all the water and the fuel before they can finally go in and start doing some like recon or just trying to recover some of the body. So 2 years she was left with nothing.
Wow.
She
With
said,
no answers.
No answers. She said that it didn't help her soul like at all because her life halted on this cruise ship. It was supposed to be a celebration. Her mom was in remission, 50 years of life, and it all ended that night. So she lost her loved one that day. I believe it was 32 people that lost their lives, and I will get into the specifics of that later on. But now we are with Barbie, and now we're getting into the trial. So not long after, they found the captain on shore. He was incognito, chilling out, and they were like, hey, you're arrested, bro.
So everybody else is like in a church, trying to, he bounced.
He had a car and everything.
Really?
Yes, he had a car because 3 days or something afterwards, when they like charged him and said, okay, you're gonna go to court for this.
Yeah.
They found a USB drive inside of the car that he was currently just residing in, I guess, of like telephone, like recalled and recordings of him talking to a Coast Guard like officer about him leaving the like ship. So he was having a conversation with a Coast Guard official, and the Coast Guard official was like, why are you leaving the ship? Get back on the boat. Literally a quote, get back on the boat. He said, I'm not leaving. I'm just trying to help the
passengers?
Yeah, I'm trying to help them get on the boat. And then I slipped, and all of a sudden I'm in the boat.
I need you to shut the hell up. Are you kidding me?
You slipped in the boat.
And I just stayed here.
Yeah,
I just stayed. I'm already in the
He's
boat.
like, I'm already here. I didn't mean to get on here. And the Coast Guard's like, get on the boat.
What?
So they have audio recordings of him literally trying to slip away.
Oh my God. Yeah, he wasn't shit.
It was horrendous. So they used that in the trial for sure. But that was found on January 17th. And that was like big. But the trial lasted for literally years. It was in Italy. And he was charged with recklessly like endangering lives. What was it called? I'll get into the details of that. But like he was literally charged with multiple counts, and he ended up getting sentenced 16 years. And there were 5 other people that were sentenced as well. But literally after the accident, they recovered the black box, but it was like faulty, and they were trying to use this in the trial, and they were trying to piece together exactly what happened, because this was key as to determine if he was in the fault or if it was like a mechanical failure of some sort. And this is when we meet Alessandro Cantelli Forti, and apparently he was a young computer science and researcher.
Bring on the nerds.
He's literally a nerd.
Yes.
But we love him so much because he was given a bunch of like DVDs and data from the ship to try to piece together what happened. And so he basically made a software that went minute by minute as to what happened during like the situation, from the black box recordings, from like testimonials, from people who survived, yada, yada, yada. But number one thing was that the emergency generator, it powered on and off several times before it ultimately failed. And that's so important because the emergency generator was supposed to power like the lights, the diesel, emergency devices, everything. So that went down, they were done.
They were it, yeah.
It was a wrap. Hence the blackout, and hence why everything just went wrong from that moment forward.
Right.
So we know that also at least 2 lifeboats failed because the emergency power never backed up. So even on the low side, 2 emergency lifeboats never was able to like get down
up,
because it was electrically powered.
Okay. I know you have a list of things that have changed since then from the cruising industry. I hope that's one of them, because those emergency
I hope so.
lifeboats
That is
should
not
be
one
able
of them,
to like get out of there no matter what.
Yeah, that's not one of them, but I hope that maybe came later on, because no way you don't have a backup as to get the lifeboats off.
Right.
I'm okay if you guys have to manually do it.
But there should be a way.
There should be a way. But at least 2 lifeboats on the low side that would have been able to make it into the water never were worked, because that was that.
Okay.
But while the captain is on trial, he was like, no, this was never my fault. At this time, he is literally branded Captain Coward, as the media said, which clever. I love it. He was like, no, this wasn't my fault. I do not hold the blame on my shoulders only. And this is literally when he brought up the helmsman.
Okay.
Now, the helmsman is literally the guy that's operating the ship, right? Captain says, go left. Helmsman's like, copy, I'm going left.
Right.
Captain doesn't actually steer. It's the helmsman that does. But the captain brought up the helmsman because there was apparently a mismatch in communication. And the fact that the helmsman literally had 13 seconds of him doing the opposite of what the captain told him to do the night of the collision. So he literally said, helm to port. And he said, copy, helm to starboard. He said, no, helm to port. He said, starboard. And then for 13 seconds, he continued to say, helm to starboard. Are you an idiot?
Yeah, port, real easy. Starboard,
it's really easy. But they were arguing that they had, like, I don't know, language barrier, mismatch of communication, and so that's why he didn't understand that. But I do not care if there's a mismatch in information. You guys have to have that figured out before we leave port.
That part.
Because I need you to know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And I need to be like secure in the fact that you understand what I'm saying if I tell you what to do.
Very quickly, too.
Exactly.
Because in those 13 seconds, if he had followed what he said, you have that information?
They said that in those 13 seconds, if he would have followed what the captain said, those are 13 valuable seconds that would have prevented the tragedy. They got experts to weigh in on the situation and said that if he would have executed to perfection in the exact order and exact timage that he would have said, the impact would have been partial or non-existent.
Okay, so we shouldn't have been there to begin with.
That part.
Number one. But also, those were valuable seconds. Like, you don't have time to waste.
Right.
If he said, do this, you do that.
You do this.
And this could have been avoided. Or much easier.
Exactly. No one is saying that the fact that they tried to do a little sail-by salute was wrong in the first place, because it really was wrong. But if we were going to do it, it should have been executed to perfection, and it wasn't.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the part that the captain brought up. He was like, I am not in the wrong here. Now.
Yes, you are. But also he is too.
He is too. There's multiple people, okay? And so now we take us back to just the Costa Concordia in general, the cruising line, the cruising, like, industry in general. In 2012, this is very popular. People are going on cruises all the time, but it's the American cruise lines that are doing the best.
Oh.
And so an American, like, business and entrepreneurs or whatever, they bought Costa.
Okay.
But they weren't being responsible when hiring people and training people.
Okay. Let's get into it.
So this American cruise line just hired a bunch of people. Now take us back to Singh. His training, he got trained to swim before he went on the ship, as it is required for everyone who's working on board a cruise ship. They said that they just threw him in there. He floated for like 2 seconds. They took him out and he said, you're good with training.
Fast. A life vest.
A life vest.
Yes.
And he was good with training.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. We're solid.
Okay.
And so they had that same mentality with everyone else. Now the helmsman, brand new. He got promoted way too quickly, and his training was literally months shorter than it should have been for the normal. Yeah.
Months shorter.
Months shorter
Okay.
than it should have been for normal. So they just said, yeah, he's fine. Push him in.
This is the person who controls the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's fine. He's got it.
Keep going.
Same mentality for literally everyone on that boat. So when we're looking at everyone's confused faces when emergency happened,
It's
yeah,
because
that
they
makes
weren't
sense because they
trained.
weren't trained properly.
Wow.
By this American company that just hired a bunch of people, put them on a ship and said, we're great.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Not shocked that afterwards they were fined $1 million due
not
to
enough.
their negligence.
It's not enough. 32 people passed away?
32 people.
And all this damage, all this trauma, $1 million for a huge conglomerate, not enough.
Yeah, not enough. So they were charged $1 million fine. The captain was sentenced to 16 years for manslaughter and abandoning ship, which you explained beautifully earlier as to why that's such a big deal.
Right.
Like, how are you leaving before everybody else?
Everybody else, these people you are responsible for.
Yeah, it was literally so messy. But then they also charged 5 other crew members with negligence and manslaughter. So we have the director of the crisis unit. He wasn't on board, but remember we were calling him. He was one of the first people to call. And he was like, is there anything wrong? What's going on? That's who the captain was speaking with. He got 2 years and 10 months. Then we got Manrico. He was 2 years and 2.5 years. Then we got the first officer, the guy that was in the bridge, and he was like working the systems and stuff. He got 1 year and 11 months.
Whoa.
Then we got the helmsman. He waited 13 seconds to correct his course, so he got 1 year and 8 months. And then we got the third officer, also on the bridge. He got 1 year and 11 months too. A bunch of people who actively made decisions to lie to the passengers and to just
go along with what the captain was doing.
Yes. So they all got sentenced, but none of them served time except for the captain.
Got it. So Manrico, broken leg.
Yes.
He also was charged and convicted.
Yes. But none of them served time. Now, I believe that is all when it comes to just like in general. Our people, they're fine-ish. John, he experienced a bunch of PTSD afterwards. They were worried about their daughter, about her hitting her head, but she ended up being completely fine.
Yeah.
They were wondering if she also had PTSD because she was young and she can't speak, but she grew up to be completely normal, completely great. She's 15 years old. She is a ballerina, and she's living life beautifully.
We saw some clips. She looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Like, go for you.
Like, she's doing amazing. Everyone else seems to be doing amazing as well.
Yeah.
And just, it was a heartbreaking day that could have been avoided.
Absolutely.
Really, really could have been avoided. Yes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Especially as someone who likes to cruise, because that pisses me off so bad.
Yeah.
And I, out the corner of my eye, have been seeing this comment section going crazy. You want to go see?
Yes.
One thing I did see is how I asked about the passport. When you were in another country, you just go to the consulate and you can get a new one.
A new one?
Yeah.
If you say, like, hey, I just went through this crazy thing that's on the news. Yeah.
But you can't have 2 passports at the same time.
True. But mine is at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Agreed. So it's temporary.
Right. Yeah. It's a temporary one to get home.
And also, I wanted to highlight it was 32 people that died, but it was also 5 children, I believe.
A 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old child.
Yes.
Yes, which I can definitely get into all the details. You guys want to do that now? I was waiting on it. Yeah?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. So all the details that were inevitably left out of the Netflix documentary. So apparently there were 2 survivors that recall hearing the song My Heart Will Go On over the loudspeakers.
You are kidding me.
I wish I was joking, but 2 people said, yeah, I heard that. And other people were like, I may have heard that too. Yeah. If you don't know, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion is the song in the movie Titanic.
Yes. Oh, my
And
goodness.
that is so tone deaf.
What?
Yes. Another little detail, which they brought up in court, which they did not bring up, but the captain, he was not wearing his glasses the night of the collision. He wears prescription glasses, and he chose that he was just going to wing it by sight and by the help of his first officer on the radar.
I am so mad.
Another thing about the captain, he was married, but that's not who was on the bridge with him. It was his mistress. On the bridge with him. So he was distracted.
Oh, no. I mean,
He had his
eyes are wide here.
He had his nice little cute little mistress on the bridge with him during the collision.
The captains bring their entire families on these ships.
Yes.
But that's not who was there with him.
This guy brought his mistress.
His mistress.
I am my
Baffled.
flabbers
Yeah.
gasted.
I found her too, Dominica.
Oh, wow.
Dominica, and in the bio of her Instagram, it says survival of the Costa Concordia.
Whoa.
Yeah, so, oh my God, this was like tea. Yeah, so she was literally on the bridge that night. Okay, so 3,200 of the passengers agreed to a payout for their loss of luggage and their personal trauma that they suffered is around $14,000. And now, here are the new safety rules for cruises and things like that when it comes to things like that. So passengers now have to complete safety and evacuation drills before the ship departs, when it used to be 24 hours after you got on the ship.
So they hadn't even gotten to it yet.
I'm telling you, none of them knew what to do because they haven't completed the drills yet.
Oh, my God.
They collided with the rock 2 hours in. So they had 22 more hours to go.
And now you will hear it over the loudspeaker. They
cannot.
They will tell you how many people have not done it.
Yes. And
Yes.
they'll call you by name if you haven't done it. And they'll find you because they got your little bracelet.
Yes, because they track you now. That's another thing. They're required to track you by any means, through your phone, through a watch, a little pendant. They have to know exactly where everyone is, how many people are on board, and if you're supposed to be here, so on and so forth. But yes, you are required to complete your drills before the ship departs. That is a new drill.
Whoa.
Now, because he decided to bring his mistress on board, bridge access is now only limited to essential crew members in response to what he did.
Exactly.
You can't just bring anybody and their mama onto the bridge.
As you shouldn't.
And in addition, ships must stay course and cannot deviate from the planned voyage.
Yes.
They have to check in constantly, saying, what is your course? They have to keep being like, are you going here, here, here? And they're like, yes, that is part of the plan. And they have to keep checking in. And they cannot deviate under any circumstances.
Good.
So no little sail by.
Drive-bys.
Yeah. And life jackets must be readily available throughout the whole ship, not just your stateroom. So for the Costa Concordia, they were only available in the staterooms. Hence why the mom went back to her room, which is very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Now you have life jackets everywhere. The fact that some people were not able to get access to life jackets was the number one problem here.
Wow.
So now they're readily available everywhere, which I thought was just a given.
So did I.
But they previously were only available in your staterooms.
Oh my God.
So those are the primary things that came because of this accident.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it seems like it makes sense, but sometimes planes have to crash for them to start making rules,
Which is
different
unbelievable.
changes.
Which is unbelievable.
Wow.
At the cost of people's lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for looking all that up.
For sure.
That's
I just,
amazing.
Yeah, because we're spoiled. We like,
Yeah.
you can't even leave. They make
Exactly.
everybody go to the muster
That used-
station.
It just was like, you have 24 hours to do it if you want to.
If you want to.
So people didn't even know what the general idea was for
Like, what was I
evacuation
supposed to
plans. Did anyone even know that deck 4 and 5 were both for lifeboats, or were they just let's go where everyone else is going? Or what was the mentality? What were they thinking? Did they know?
No. How would they know?
Exactly.
Most of our survivors that we spoke to, this was their first cruise. So how would you even know?
Yeah, because they didn't go through the drills.
Wow.
But now they're so very, very strict about that.
As
you
they should be.
cannot leave unless everyone has done it.
Yep. As they should be. So people in the comment section calling you the FBI.
Oh, thank you.
For finding that mistress.
Oh my God.
That's
I
what
have
she
her first
does.
and last name too. I literally went to her Instagram and she's all cutesy and she's like, survivor of the Costa Concordia. I was like, I said, and mistress of the captain. You want to add that in there too?
Update.
Actually crazy.
Right?
And what is the captain not doing without his glasses?
That's what I'm saying. Because his mistress is there and he didn't want her knowing that he wore glasses.
Oh my God. And he was relying heavily on that first officer in the radar.
Right.
And I want to think this is the same thing about pilots. Letting people in the cockpit. It
Not
was a
supposed
thing
to
before you
happen,
could do
right?
that.
Now, not anymore.
Yeah.
It is so locked down now. You cannot do that.
For a reason. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
this one was wild. I am so glad things have changed.
Yeah.
They are much safer. So I hope that last part, if there's anybody who is on the fence, I really want to go on a cruise, but maybe I'm worried about XYZ, that might help them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm almost certain that all of the liners do the same consistent, protocol.
Right.
Or follow it. But these places are literally cities on the water.
They
at
really
this
are.
point. These ships
Yeah.
are huge. They employ a ton of people. Most of the people below deck or below the 4th and 5th floors were workers.
Yeah.
So it's not just the people who are there paid to get on it. It's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
So
and
many
to not
people.
have that protocol in place was ridiculous in the first place. But
It really
now
was.
it's overkill. It's a lot of people, and you do feel safe on there. You don't feel like you're just on some boat.
Just
on
winging it and no one
Yeah.
knows
And
what they're doing.
You can ask anybody a question, and if they can't answer it, they find you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know. And also, we've been on Princess several times. We'll go ahead and
Right,
put that
yeah.
out there. We love Princess, call us, you know. But like he said, I'm sure all of them have really great procedures
Yeah.
in
And
place.
it takes a rock or a iceberg for those ships to stop. You know, and And there was a part where I'm not sure if you guys are going to go back to it, but he asked for, it was like 15.6 knots, and he said, make it 16.
Make it 16.
Let's go. And I'm thinking, at night, no visibility, they cruise. They don't push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can be behind trying to get to a destination with time on the ocean at sea, and it'll still be consistent.
Yeah.
So you won't even really experience too much of the
Like
the ship
rocking.
moving.
Yeah.
No, they try not to do that. Even if they're running late, they'll run late. We've arrived places like 2 hours late sometimes, and it's like, it's okay.
Oh, well.
But
we
we're all
got there.
safe.
Yeah.
When we got there. Now, I think it's unfortunate, but I do want to go back and like specify exactly what happened to some of the people. It took them years to figure out what happened, like in terms of how people passed away. But they found out that there were 32 deaths, 5 were crew, and 27 were passengers. They were able to find out that 8 of the passengers were found in or around elevators, as there was an electrical blackout, which had them trapped inside of the elevator. 3 passengers were found in their stateroom because they were told to return to their staterooms at the beginning of the collision. And 7 passengers believed to have died on deck 4. So
Right there.
in this chaotic situation of deck 4.
They passed away.
And the others were unspecified, but yeah.
If the captain would have sounded the alarm, the elevators would have stopped working before the power went out. Because in an emergency, you can't take an elevator, right? So those people didn't know. They got in an elevator, they were stuck,
God.
and they died. I know.
His negligence is why he's in prison for 16 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we had a couple of donations in here.
Yeah, I
Right?
see. Wait a minute.
So Tamisha, thank you so much. And Black Queen, we appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all kill it. We
Thank
have
you
some of
guys
the
so
best
much.
weirdos,
Yes, our lovely collection of weirdos.
right?
Oh man, but yeah, this was a tough one for sure because I hate when things could have been avoided. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And when people are being irresponsible with people's lives, it's like you got this job because people are trusting you to get these people, 4,000 people,
Where they need to go.
on this journey safely. It is your one responsibility.
Absolutely.
You don't get to be lax. You don't get to just take a break. You have lives in your hand.
Yeah.
And for you to leave before everyone else is so irresponsible. And I have no way or no feeling about him being behind bars.
Absolutely not. I hope the food is bad.
You know.
Yeah. But go ahead.
So I wanted to bring up Rose. You
Rose,
said
the
that you were gonna bring
dancer.
up- yeah. And how she actually did what I would have done as an employee on the ship. And you
Tell
remember
me.
how
Oh,
she
I'm
had-
sorry. I thought you had meant how she was going to track down
about
the helicopter.
The fact that she was literally going to go to her muster station. She came across her superior, and her superior told her, where are you going? She's like, to the muster station. She said, no, you're not. You're going back in that room. You're going to entertain passengers. She said, excuse me, there's a crisis happening. And then she said, I quit. And she immediately went up there, saw everyone was running around, didn't know what to do. And she said, okay, this is on me. I'm going to figure out what to do. She started immediately helping people, throwing them across that that little
Lives.
hallway. She saved
Yes.
lives immediately. She quit her job because she was like, hello.
No, what do
Yeah.
you mean go entertain, go dance?
Yeah, try to hit it with that
Dancing
Titanic.
monkey.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, that ain't
playing
happening.
the.
She said, nah.
That
No,
ain't happening.
absolutely not.
she
And that's
saved-
exactly what I would have did.
Yeah,
saved a
exactly.
lot of lives.
My bad. I thought you were talking about that other thing.
Yeah, go Rose.
Seriously.
You know?
Because that's silly.
Yeah, completely
Alright.
unnecessary. Who I look like? But you heard that twice. You heard them telling Singh to get the dinner prepared, and then you like Rose go entertain passengers. Who? What?
Exactly.
A lot of these people are from around the world, the help. Okay?
Right.
Around the world. And they come here and sing just like him. He had debt.
Yes.
He was working, trying to pay off his debt with his family. And so that's why he was saving all his money. You know what I mean? And so the first
he was so
instinct he
desperate.
thought was, I need to get my money before the ship goes down. And that's, they employ people and there you go. And they work and they work and they work and they don't get any breaks.
No,
Yeah.
there's no breaks yet. I mean, when you dock on a Sunday or whatever, they are cleaning that thing. So for the next crew to come on in 2 hours, like the
Yeah.
next group of passengers, they do not play. You don't have any time off. So that's wild to me.
Which is why we tip.
Oh, big time.
Another part, if you
Show
were
up with
planning-
cash.
Yeah, with cash, y'all.
Yeah, you pay for the package. You know, it includes tips and all that, but I still want to put the money in their hands. 'Cause
Exactly.
You know how capitalism works.
Yeah.
They're going to get taxed on it, and it's not going to show. Here you go.
No.
Especially the ones cleaning your room
Your
and bringing you
stateroom,
food.
because it is the
and-
same person the entire time
It
cleaning your
is.
stateroom. So you really get to know them. You're like, hey, thank you so
Yes.
much, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, evil work. But they deserve so much better. Everyone on that boat. Mm-hmm. All right.
So that's the number one movie on Netflix.
Yes.
It is. Yes. So, I mean, this is every Sunday, y'all. So let us know what you want to see next. You know,
Exactly.
if
Keep it coming.
if y'all like this one, if you like more true crime. I can't even speak today.
True
Anyway, all that stuff. I know that you guys really enjoyed the Mackenzie Shirilla case.
Ooh,
That's
that
probably
was
one of the
crazy.
most popular ones right now for us. So if you guys want more in that lane, if you want movies specifically, let us know. It's every Sunday. It's fun. I did see Jazzy, that Obsession just got on Peacock. Yes. So if you guys want things like, yeah, that might be the one. So go ahead and let us know. Actually, can we put a poll in there? Actually,
Like,
for
what do
that?
y'all want
Let
to
them
see?
vote.
Because we will be watching Obsession this week.
Yes. Yes, we will. But like, let us know what you guys want to see. But yeah, things like this are usually really, really fun. It was odd with the lack of script this one. So how did you guys like this one?
Took me a second to get going. I was reading the word and my voice said something completely different.
You
but
know.
hey, it happens.
It happened. You guys are rocking with us. We're rocking with you.
That's right.
It's
Okay.
all vibes.
So it's up there. What you want? True crime, regular documentaries, movies, and television.
Put in the votes, y'all. It's all up to you. Like, we literally only do this like for the community of weirdos, or collection of misfits, the weirdos, the outcasts, yeah, it's literally all for you because we all need community.
Yes, and it's so nice because when you watch something, no matter what it is, the first thing you want to do is go talk to someone about it. Who can I talk to about this?
That part.
But we are so privileged that we do get to sit around with our family, and that's what we wanted to do. We just wanted to open it up and be like, okay, well, we'll let you into our living room, essentially. Because if Trinity doesn't want to watch it with me, I know our editor, her sister, will want to watch it with me. And then sometimes I force my husband to watch things too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What is the one that we watched? The lady drama, and the friend got what was it called?
The women in Kerry Washington.
Not Imperfect Women.
Yes.
Is that it?
That's
Yes.
the one.
Got it
Good
right.
job.
Way to
Yes.
go.
Imperfect
Imperfect
women.
Women.
If we had this going, this situation,
Straight mess.
Oh,
that would have been a weekly
basis.
It was so good.
Y'all, it was so tea.
The mess was messing.
But yeah, leave your votes, y'all, before we head out. But for real, it is always vibes. It's always fun. We love seeing y'all here. We really appreciate your energy.
Exactly.
Especially on those Tuesday and Thursday lives. Like, I know it's early in the morning, but y'all be showing up. So we really appreciate y'all.
Yes.
It's super, super fire. 8 a.m. PST, but wherever it is for you guys. But you guys be showing up.
You
so we really, really
do.
appreciate it. We appreciate y'all showing up on Patreon too.
Yes.
Like even the new
absolutely.
people coming over every Friday to come see us. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, our people from social media finally joining us here on YouTube. Hi.
Welcome.
You get to see more of us. I hope you don't get irritated.
I know, right? Since we're everywhere.
No, yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, we
It's
are
true.
everywhere. A bunch of people stealing our faces, making us super pale or whatever.
Oh my God, and so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
thankful
Yeah.
for people showing up, and like it's family. We're not talking about subscribers and followers. And that's not what this is.
No.
This
is our weirdo community.
Our
Weirdos.
weirdos. Which love that y'all love that.
I know.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next Sunday, but more recently, we'll see you on Tuesday, 8 a.m. PST. And yeah, love you, weirdos. Bye.